What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to part 20 of our Pokemon Consonancia walkthrough. In the previous episode, we finished off exploring Electra City. We also made our way to the power plant where we ended up battling some crazy AI androids. They had some really strong Paradox Pokemon, but we ended up defeating them and clearing out the power plant. The power has now been restored to Electra City. We also ended up taking on Gym Leader Volkner in the last episode, and we did earn another gym badge. So the last episode was absolutely jam-packed. In today's episode, we're going to finish off exploring the area around Electra City and then try make our way to the next route and hopefully the next city. We're just exploring the lake south of Electra City, and we used our rainbow flower as an offering, and that upgraded our Pokeball. So now we can heal up our Pokemon twice outside of battle. As you guys know, in the previous episodes, I told you guys to collect that rainbow flower. It's really important. And I believe you can even go back to one of the old cities where there was also a lake, and you might be able to get a third Pokeball. So having those 3 Pokeball charges will help your playthrough massively, because some of the routes coming up are really long and tough, and 1 Pokeball or 2 Pokeballs is often not enough. So do make sure that you go and complete that little side quest at the lake and upgrade your Pokeball to 2 uses. You will thank me later. We've also just jumped to a cutscene and we saw a little clip of Prince Lear, and it looks like he's losing the plot a bit. He's getting too power hungry and he's starting to lose some of his friends and some of his support. So I don't know what's really going on with him. Hopefully he will return to normal. It looks like he's getting too greedy and power hungry. But now we've arrived on Route 23, and I'm hoping this will take us to the next town. I do want to try and get all the gym badges, so I can't wait to find the next gym. When we arrive at the next town, I also want to show you guys how you can use your Gacha points that we've been collecting throughout the game. You can actually use them at the Pokemon Center to get some really cool Pokemon and items. But now we've just arrived in the next town. I think it's called Marcy Town. I'm not sure if it's big or small, but we will get to exploring. And to use your Gacha points, you want to come to the nurse with the blue hair, and you're going to go to banners, and here you can get different types of Pokemon and items. As you can see, you do have a chance to get some cool Mega Stones or Z Crystals as well. You can also turn to select different options. There's 6-star banner, 5-star banner, 4-star banner. The higher you get, the better, and you even get legendaries and other kinds of Pokemon like mythicals. But the more gyms that you defeat, the more you will unlock. So we're just trying 6-star Pokemon now just to show you guys. And I'm really happy that we got a Kommo-o. Kommo-o is one of my favorite dragon-type Pokemon, so I'm considering adding it to our team and giving it a try. But I probably should have shown you guys the Gacha points and things earlier on, but I'm sure you guys would have figured it out. And as you can see, I've decided to move Kommo-o to our team. We also got the Z Crystal, so it should be able to use Z Power moves. But now we're going to try and explore the rest of Marcy Town, and it looks like we've caught up with some of our friends. So Penny, Nimona, and Arvin are here, and it looks like they just had a little battle together. I'm not sure if they're going to want to challenge us or not, but we're always down for a battle if there are. But they run off, and that leaves us to explore the rest of the town. So there are a couple houses here. We're going to come and chat to everyone and search for any cool items or anything. We just received a muscle band, so as you can see, it's worthwhile coming and chatting to everyone. We also just received a hold item wise glasses. So we're going to try and search every single building and then see where all we can head. It looks like there is a route to the south that we can explore. I'm not sure if there is a route up north, but we will go and explore that soon. And I can't wait to get all 8 gym badges and enter the next tournament. As you guys know, the first tournament was crazy tough. I can't believe there were that many battles, but it was a lot of fun. So I'm really nervous for the second tournament. I think it's going to be almost impossible. We're going to have to strengthen up our team and probably add a couple legendary Pokemon so that we can actually have a chance at winning the tournament. I think the second tournament is the final tournament, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure what the post-game consists of. I haven't really done too much research on this game. I've kind of gone into it blind, but we will try and figure all of that out for you guys. We are continuing to explore some of the houses, and we did spot what looked to be a restaurant or something. So we're going to try and explore that now and see what's all inside. It looks like we have also found a gym leader whose name is Poppy. She is a steel type gym leader, and she's looking for a steel type charm. So if you do have that, she will reward you with some items. You can also buy a whole bunch of gems here, pretty much for every single type, and also lures for every type, which will help you encounter that type specifically in the wild. So if you are looking for a certain Pokemon, you can buy a few lures and that will help your chances. But it looks like there is a route up north as well, and it's called the Marcy Lookout. So we're going to explore it, and as we enter it, we find Gym Leader Falner, the flying type gym leader, so we do want to take him on. He's got a team of 5 Pokemon, and the first Pokemon he has sent out is a level 75 Crobat. I think our team should do pretty well against flying types, so I'm not too stressed. We've almost knocked out Crobat, but he has just swapped in Swellow, which we have finished off. And now he has sent Crobat out again, but we knocked it out really quickly. He's now sent out Xatu, which we one-shotted. And now he has sent out Noctowl. So we are flying through his team. Noctowl is one of my favorite normal type Pokemon. I wish they would give it another evolution. But we knock out Noctowl and reach Falkner's final Pokemon, which is Pidgeot, and it's just mega evolved, so we might be in a bit of trouble here. Pidgeot is an absolute weapon when it's mega evolved. We decide to send out Ho-Oh, and we try and use our Z-Power move, but it doesn't affect Pidgeot. I forgot that our ground type moves don't affect flying Pokemon, so that was a bit of a mistake. So Ho-Oh did get knocked out. We also sent out Samurott, who also got knocked out, so things are not looking good. Even our Rillaboom got one-shotted. So we're down to our final Pokemon. I think I was a bit too confident at the start of this battle. But we've got Baxcalibur out, and we're doing a good job. We finally knock out Pidgeot after Falkner trying to heal it and keep it in battle forever. Falkner did gift us a choice scarf as a reward, and now we've reached the viewpoint where we have caught up with our friends and they want to take us on for a battle. So it looks like we have another challenging triple battle, and I did lose to these guys I think 2 or 3 times, so it's a really tough battle. I do recommend that you position your Pokemon carefully before starting the battle, as our opponents have a whole bunch of different types. It's not like they're all using one type, so you have to think carefully where to place your Pokemon and who you want to start with up front. From this point in the game and going forward, you really want to be careful of these triple battles. They are really difficult, and it just brings in a whole new dynamic and complication to battles, because there are 3 Pokemon to consider, and they could all be different types. And wherever your Pokemon is situated in your team is also pretty important, because if you're on the far left, you can only attack the left or middle opponent. If you're on the far right, you can only attack the right or middle opponent. So that really confuses things and adds a whole new level of difficulty. You want to position your Pokemon in a way that they can have super effective moves or effective moves against the opponent, and not the opposite way around. So you might want to go and take them on, and if you lose, you can then swap around your team and make adjustments and then take them on again and win. Try and move all your Pokemon around so that your Pokemon will have moves that are effective against 1 or 2 of the opponents. And it really does help if you have a Pokemon with moves that can attack all your opponents. There are a couple moves like that, and I will use them later on in the game. Eventually, we did defeat our friends and get the W, and as a reward, Gita gifts us an amazing item. We get a Terra Orb, which allows us to use Terastallization, which is the latest game mechanic. And that also just brings on another level of complication. In this game, I wasn't expecting the battles to be as difficult as they were. But because there's so much going on, there's a million things to consider. We've got Mega Evolutions, we've got Z moves, now we've even got Terastallization, we've got VMAX, Dynamax, and you've also got triple battles. So it is quite a lot to try and work out. And the battles do get really difficult. If you are a beginner to fan games and ROM hacks, this might be really difficult for you. This game is probably more for intermediate and advanced players. But I'm always going to try and help you guys and give you some advice. Hopefully that will help you proceed through some of these really tough battles. But now that we have finished up those battles in the town, we can try and make our way to the next town. Unfortunately, there was no gym to take on there, but we did get some really cool battles in. And we've arrived at a new route, so we're going to try and pick up a whole bunch of items. We just picked up a linking cord, which is an amazing item. It is used to evolve certain Pokemon. We used one on our Graveler to evolve it into Golem. A lot of people in the comment section are always asking where are the linking cords, or where is this item or that item, and I just recommend that you watch the videos because we point out everything that is really important. So there we did just tell you where one of the linking cords are. I can't remember where every single thing is in the game, but I do point things out as we are playing things through. So do give the videos a watch and you'll have all the information that you need. But now we've just arrived at a brand new route, and it's a swampy route. There's a whole bunch of fog and it looks pretty creepy. This area is kind of like a maze, and there's even like swamp water that we have to walk through. So I do like the design of it. The design is always keeping things interesting and different, all the different types of areas. And there are a lot of trainers here to battle, so you are going to get added experience in, whether you like it or not. There's a whole bunch of cool items to pick up, and we've just found a little tip board again. So we're going to try and pick up all the items that we can and take on all the trainers, and then hopefully figure our way out of here. Like I said, it is a bit of a maze. We're kind of going in circles at the moment, but we have just tried to pick up as many items as we can. We did find an exit to the south, so we'll follow that path and see where it leads. So it looks like the swamp continues. It's quite a large area. And like I said before, some of these routes get really long. That's why I do recommend that you upgrade your Pokeballs, because when you're taking on this many trainers and every now and then they throw in a gym leader that's super tough, your team really takes a pounding, and you don't want to go all the way back to a Pokemon Center or get knocked out and go all the way back to the Pokemon Center. So try and upgrade your Pokeball to at least 2. If you can go and get a third one, that would be perfect. Otherwise, make sure you've got a lot of revives and potions and things to keep your team alive. That would save you a lot of time. I've actually been KO'd once or twice going along a really long route, and it's really annoying going all the way back to a Pokemon Center and having to go all the way through all the routes again. Now, whilst coming to the end of the swamp, we've actually bumped into some opponents. We have found Valerie, Clair and Koga, and it looks like they want to take us on for a battle, and this again is a really tough battle. So make sure that you save your game before you reach that point, because there is a high chance that you might lose. Luckily, we are only facing Clair and Koga. I thought it might have been a triple battle, but Valerie is sitting out on this one. And you actually have a choice who will battle alongside you. You can pick Misty or Erica. So we did go with Misty for this battle. And it looks like our opponents do have a fair amount of Dragon-type Pokemon, so you might want to keep that in mind. Dragon types are weak to Dragon-type moves, as well as Ice and Fairy-type moves. Clair has also just sent out a Drampar, which has Mega Evolved, and it looks absolutely insane. It looks like Koga has sent out Venomoth, and that might be the final Pokemon from Koga's side. Clair has also just sent out Weezing, which might be her final Pokemon. So our team is doing fairly well. We've just knocked out Venomoth and we're just about to take out Weezing. So we comfortably won that battle. It wasn't all that difficult. And I think Valerie might be the next gym leader that we have to face. I'm not 100% sure, but she runs off to the next town, so I'm sure we'll catch up with everyone there. Before we enter the next route, we can heal up our Pokemon here, but we're going to end off the video and continue in the next one. Thanks for watching.